The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Now, as Jesus and his disciples went on their way, he entered a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to what he was saying. But Martha was distracted by her many tasks. So she came to Jesus and asked, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her." The Gospel of the Lord. Brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, we've heard these readings year after year, and we're going to play with them a little bit today. We've all heard that too much of a good thing is bad for us, and we see it today. I want you to imagine that you know the Lord is coming to your house to visit, and you spend all week preparing, cooking, cleaning, propping things up, straightening photos, pictures on the wall, putting your best foot forward. And when he comes, you trip over yourself serving him hand and foot. The whole time he's there, he's not without a want or a need that's been satisfied. And he thanks you graciously for your hospitality. And then he leaves. Did you miss something? We see Martha and Mary today, and they really represent two aspects of our spiritual life. There's action and contemplation. And we see Martha doing all of these things that a good Catholic would do. She's jumping over herself to serve. We can imagine doing devotional prayers until we're hoarse, praying the rosary night and day, endlessly talking to God. We need to take time to listen. This contemplation that Mary's doing in the presence of Jesus is very much what we're going to do today in front of the Blessed Sacrament. As we receive communion, we want to contemplate Christ's presence in our life and what that means for us. The young people here need to have quiet time away from distractions so they can hear the voice of God in their lives. And we're not talking about visions and voices. We're talking about a blooming of a rose in your heart that is God's love for us. We need to sit quietly with the Lord. It's like the first time you drink from a fountain. You get water in your eye, and you can't hold the stream right. It's too fast, it's too slow, it's too low, it's too high. And we have to learn how to drink from this fountain. That's God's grace that's pouring out from him, from his blessed heart. We need to learn how to drink from this fountain so that we may know the way we should go. We're talking about vocations in our lives, being married persons, being religious people, being ordained ministers. All of these things require contemplation. We can't just fall into the next thing that happens. And in this busyness of our life, when we're always the one who serves, and we're expecting to provide for these other people so that they know we're a good person, and we're jumping over ourselves to serve, and so that they know that we did this for them. it actually becomes an egotistical service. It's not a spiritual service. And Martha gets caught up in serving Jesus so that she can say, I served him. On your very best day, you're a beloved child of God. And I'll give you one guess for what you are on your very worst day. You're that same beloved child of God. But when we rest in the Lord's presence, we, we allow him to make that bloom open in our hearts. His love speaks in our lives. We begin to recognize Christ in other people. So when the visitor came to Abraham, he didn't know who they were. The reading says the Lord was going to visit Abraham. When he saw a stranger in the distance, he ran out to greet him. First of all, they're in an inhospitable environment, so people need fresh water, food, and he goes to provide. So when we go to visit someone, are we welcoming Christ? Are we welcoming the Lord? And when we have someone come to visit us, are we providing for them? This image of God in visitors, strangers. So we see in our lives as we take on these things and we become more loving, there is a cost. And St. Paul tells us very adequately that he's proud to suffer for his love of Christ. He's doing these things out of the love of God for people, and society is punishing him. And it will punish us. This becomes unsavory when it's not the norm. Our society tells us to be selfish. You can do these things, you can be this person, you can achieve, you can you. And this egotistical life and society that we live in really does separate us from the love of God. But we need to take time to learn to drink from this fountain. We need to carve time out of our lives, as you've done today, to be here at this Mass, to be in the presence of God. As we come to communion today, let's be quiet. Let's welcome him into our hearts, ask him to move the furniture around, and then be still. Let's let this flower in our hearts, fed by God's love, bloom in our lives. And later today and tomorrow and this week, as we go out, let us see the world with the eyes of God and the love of Christ, and let us try to recognize him in the strangers in our lives. Let us try to be welcoming. And when someone does something for us, let's be gracious and thankful, but know that the love of Christ is flowing in this relationship between us as we move about in the world. We are the source of Christ's love in this world. When we leave here, we are this outpouring of God's grace into the world, and we must pour it out. Otherwise, it's dead in us. It withers. We need to share this grace. We've received, we distribute it, and it multiplies.